The Fed released some data that actually has some good news tied into it. We're going to dive into it. And Ripple Labs is doing the right thing, putting more pressure on the SEC to release the Hinman files. Even if it has nothing to do with XRP, they're putting pressure on it for the greater good of the crypto community. And I have to respect Ripple Labs, Brad Garlinghouse, and their legal team for keeping on the SEC, trying to keep them honest. And by the way, that background was sent in by a channel supporter. He had his brother actually draw that picture by hand. It is beautiful to see in detail up close. So thank you to the community out there, and thank you, Ben. XRP sitting at 35 cents, up 0.75 point in the last 24 hours. ETH still holding 1,300 and Bitcoin still holding 17,000. In fact, we've seen a little bit more positive action in the market here as of late. And remember, on January 12th at 8:30 a.m., CPI data is being released. We're going to live stream it. And remember, that's the biggest set of data that Jerome Powell and the Fed use to determine rate hikes. We're looking for something coming in at 6.5 or lower. Speaking of the Fed, there's Jerome Powell. Make that money printer go burr right here. The New York Federal Reserve issued data on Monday that could ease investor uncertainty as they wait for key economic indicators this week. They're talking about the CPI data, everyone. What happened? The Fed of New York Center for Economic Data issued its December survey of consumer expectations, right? What does the consumer market feel? Remember, the Fed does their own projections. They balance that with what the consumers say. Some interesting highlights here. Median 1 year ahead of inflation expectations fell. That's a good thing. 3 year ahead inflation expectations were unchanged at 3.0. Thinking that we're going to be cooling down with inflation somewhere around that 2025 time period. Consumer expectations on inflation edged up 0.1%, so not a big deal here. On a positive note, households surveyed by the Fed said their perception of the current situation is better than what it was since December. Yep, everyone. That means we all think that the worst is behind us, and the reason that's good news is whether it's the crypto market or the stock market, both of them price things in future looking, all right? Now, if you want to read the whole report, it's a little lengthy and a little dry. If you don't like numbers, I do. That's why I read it for you. As always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. World Economic Forum's coming up here, everyone. The 16th to the 20th of this January. Look for some big news coming out there, and my dog is making some funky noises in the background. But the news you've all been waiting for, this coming from James Filan. Beware of imposters. He's got the blue check mark and the follower count to back it up. XRP community, the SEC versus Ripple Labs XRP. The defendants, Ripple, have filed their response in opposition to the SEC's motion to seal certain documents. Talking about the Hinman files, baby, in connection with the parties' cross motions for summary judgment. Essentially, what's happening right now is Ripple Labs is putting even more pressure on the judge and SEC, saying, hey, we want what's in there unredacted. We want it open for everyone to see. Now, here's the thing, everyone. If this was super damning for the SEC, like XRP themselves was specifically mentioned in the emails, we know SEC would have wanted to settle by now. But here's the thing, rumors have it from high sources up that Ethereum is actually mentioned, and my dog keeps whining in the background because she wants me to play with her. The thing is this, I am going to applaud Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple Labs, and the entire legal team, because even if this doesn't benefit XRP themselves, what they're doing is they're looking out for the greater good of the community by getting this exposed. Imagine if they even did mention ETH or any other cryptos out there specifically, that would be super damning for the SEC. Now, let's pretend, right, that they put this pressure on them. Would they gain 5, 10% more benefit from this? We don't know, because we don't know what's in the emails, but that's what they're fighting for, to expose the SEC's agenda to all of us out there. So let's give Brad Garlinghouse and the legal team out there a golf clap. Now, the consumer and household survey issued by the Fed is extremely important, because that means on the consumer side, we think that the worst is over. Now, statistically speaking, peak inflation was at 9.1, but we're seeing gas prices go up. Food prices, have you seen eggs here lately? They're going up. A lot of consumer-based items are still on the rise, and that has some people concerned. But the majority of households out there are thinking, hey, the worst is over. Maybe we're going to be okay. But be very cautious, because as China opens up their economy, the demand for fuel and other goods out there is going to increase, really messing up that supply and demand curve that the Fed has been working on curbing by raising interest rates. Now, Ripple Labs legal team, like I said, we got to give them a pat on the back, because we know, hey, if XRP was specifically mentioned, the SEC would have wanted to settle by now. But the question is, who is mentioned in the Hinman docs, and how damning is this with the SEC going after other cryptos out there? And is there a way that the legal team can leverage this to benefit Ripple Labs XRP and the greater community out there? I'm anxious to see what happens, and we will know real soon. So as the news breaks on that, I will be sure to inform you of it to let you know what the judge says regarding the motions filed in that matter. I'll leave you with this video right here. It's algorithmically based from YouTube to provide you with the best viewing experience possible if you want to keep wetting that mental crypto whistle that you got. Thank you very much for watching and the various levels of support for this channel. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm super thankful of the community that we have here. Until more news breaks, you cool cats, have a great rest of your day.